The former governor of Delta State, Mr. James Ibori, has been sentenced to 13 years in prison by the London Southwark Crown Court. His sentence follows a guilty plea on February the 27th to 10 counts of money laundering and fraud totaling nearly £50 million. In his sentence, Judge Anthony Pitts said, quote, "I recognize that there is another side to the man, James Ibori, but I'm not the proper person to judge your achievements and failings as a governor. That is up to the people of Delta State." End of quote. He then went on to describe the former governor's life of corruption before pronouncing his sentence. In his closing statements, Mr. Ibori's lawyer, Mr. Nicholas Purnell, asked the judge to consider his client's children before passing a sentence, since their mother was already in jail. Judge Pitts also said Mr. Ibori's sentencing does not end the matter, as his property will be confiscated.
An end to a long wait in the dramatic trial of the former governor of Delta State, Mr. James Ibori, who was accused of embezzlement and money laundering. And for the many supporters of Ibori who gathered at the Southwark Crown Court in London today, when the judgment eventually came, it was no less a tense moment. Judge Anthony Pitts sentenced James Onanefe Ibori to 13 years in prison over allegations of fraud and embezzlement while serving as governor of Delta State. Earlier in the trial preceding the sentencing, the former Delta State governor on 27th of February pleaded guilty to 10 counts of money laundering and fraud totaling £50 million, thus over 12 billion naira, a figure the judge said was ludicrously low. In his ruling, Judge Pitts said the court was unable to establish how much Ibori stole, saying Ibori's loot is unquantifiable, adding that the confiscation proceedings may shed some further light on the enormity of the sums involved. According to the prosecutor, Sasha Wiles, Ibori and his associates used multiple accounts at the banks to launder millions of pounds, some of which were used to buy expensive London properties and other luxurious possessions, including a private jet. Although Ibori's lawyer, Nicholas Purnell, strove hard to put up a strong defense for him, his efforts made no difference. He said Ibori's lawyer, Bradish Gohill, misled the former governor into engaging in the lawful arts of money laundering. When called to give testimony on Ibori's character, a former Nigerian international footballer, John Fashanu, stated that Delta State witnessed immense development under Ibori, especially in the area of sports, adding that Ibori built stadium where repentant militants trained and transformed to sports stars. Ibori got a discount off a possible 24-year jail term. Meanwhile, the convict had 645 days deducted from his sentence due to the time he's already spent in prison while the case lasted. That leaves the former governor with at least 7 years of imprisonment in the British jail, together with his wife, Theresa, sister, Christine Ibori, business associate, Udoamaka Okoronkwo, and his former lawyer, Badresh Gohill.